So getting started with Imagine Art is super easy and free. Just head over to imagine.art and that will take you to their homepage where if you haven't signed up yet, you could do so by clicking the sign in button in the upper right corner of the screen. And from here, you can create a free account by entering an email address and then manually creating your login credentials, or you could sign up via a Google, Facebook, or Discord account. I'm going to sign up with my Google account, so once you create your free account, you'll be taken to the Imagine Art home dashboard. This is like home base for your account and is where you can begin creating some amazing content. But before we do, let me give you a quick tour so you'll have a better idea of where everything is before diving in. Okay, first on the left-hand side of the screen is your sidebar nav menu. Here you can do various things like access what Imagine Art calls their studios. And think of the studios as like hubs for AI tools related to image, video, sketch, and even music generation. However, as of March 2025, you have to get on a waitlist to access the music generator. But either way, the studios are where you can begin experimenting with AI tools and creating content. You can also manage your subscription and configure the API integration from the sidebar as well. Then whatever you have selected in the sidebar will display towards the center of the screen. And we currently have Home selected, and here you can access some shortcuts to the various AI tools. These are the same studios as what's in the sidebar, but just another way to access them from your home screen. Scrolling down, you'll see the Explore section. This is where you could access, download, and reuse images, videos, and prompts made by other users in the Imagine Art community. For example, if you find an image or video you like, simply click on it here, and this opens it up and gives you access to the prompt details as well as the image itself, where you can then use as your own to recreate content. And we'll do that a little later on in the video, but this is a great way to get started with creating videos and images and learn how things work within the Imagine Art workflow. Shifting our focus to the upper right corner of the screen, you'll see a few icons. Here you can monitor your credits and buy more tokens if needed. Each action you take within Imagine Art costs tokens. So this is a great way to keep an eye on that to ensure that you can continue using Imagine Art. Next to that is an upgrade button. You can obviously use the free plan, but Imagine Art does offer paid subscriptions, which give you access to a ton more credits and features, which we'll go over the different prices and plans offered towards the end of the video. Then that little avatar is where you can access things like the terms and conditions, privacy policy, connect with Imagine Art social media, etc. And finally, in the lower right corner of the screen is this little chat bubble icon, and clicking that opens the help and messaging app. Here you can search for help and browse their knowledge base or chat with their support via instant messenger. All right, that's the home dashboard. Hopefully you have a better idea of where everything is. So next, let's have some fun and create some AI-generated images. In this portion of the tutorial, we're going to leverage Imagine Art's PhotoGen Studio to create AI-generated images. So to get started, from the sidebar, under the Studio section, click on where it says PhotoGen, and this will take you to the PhotoGen Studio. This is where you'll essentially start creating images, but you have a few ways to go about it. First, they have this quick prompt generator. Simply enter your text prompt and click generate, and you'll get some images. But you don't have much control over the output, just a quick way to start generating images. Below that are the various image generation tools that you could choose from, and depending on your subscription level, your access here will vary. I'm currently subscribed to the professional plan, so I have access to all of these image generation tools except for the real-time generation. And I should point out that during this tutorial, we'll only be using the text-to-image tool for the most part, but I highly recommend experimenting with the many other tools here whenever you have some extra time. There's a lot that you could do here, and these tools open the door to a ton of creativity. Okay, on that note, as I said, we'll be using the text-to-image tool, so I'll select that one from the list. And this brings you to the text-to-image interface. You may see a pop-up towards the bottom of the screen for the Imagine bot. You can close that. We're going to go over how to use that in just a bit. But first, let me give you a quick tour of the interface so you'll know where everything is and how to use it. On the left-hand side of the screen is a sidebar that has all of your configuration settings, and I'll go into more detail on these whenever we create our images, but this is where you'll essentially guide the AI towards your creative vision and fine-tune the output. Towards the bottom of the screen is the text prompt field. This is where you'll type in your prompt describing the image that you want to generate. Then once you're ready, simply click the Generate button to create your AI-generated artwork. On the left of the prompt field, you'll see some dice, and clicking on these will give you the option to have Imagine Art create a completely random prompt for you. It's a fun feature if you're having some trouble coming up with prompt ideas. Another fun feature for prompt writer's block is the Imagine bot. And clicking that little robot icon opens a chat box where you can tell the bot what you're thinking about creating in a few words, and it will generate an in-depth prompt for you. It's really cool, and we'll use it in just a bit so you can see how it works. Then whenever you generate your images, they're going to be displayed here. Now there's currently a placeholder image here, but as you begin creating images, they're going to show up here. Now one thing that I found is that when you start creating images, they won't be saved here long term. At least they weren't for me. They'll stay available for you to access during your current session, but if you leave and come back and refresh this page, Imagine Art will delete the photos. I'm not sure if that's by design to save space, but that's what happened to me as I was creating images. So just keep that in mind as you're creating your images. But if you want to save them, you'll need to download them to your device, and I'll show you how to do that as well in just a bit. All right, now that you know your way around the interface, let's create some images. And as we go through the process, you may find your own workflow that works best for you, but for this example, I just want to go through all the steps and configurations so you have a solid understanding of how this works before jumping in. Okay, first, you'll want to decide the model being used to generate the image. By default, Flux is selected as your model, but if you click on that tab, it opens the model library where you can browse and apply different models to your images. And AI models are pre-trained algorithms designed to create images in specific styles, levels of detail, and artistic interpretations. And these models have been trained on vast data sets of images, allowing them to understand and generate visuals based on user-provided text prompts. And each model is tailored for a different aesthetic, artistic technique, or rendering approach, such as realistic photography, anime-style illustrations, vector art, and more. And you can select a model depending on the type of image that you want to create. Some models prioritize high detail and realism, making them ideal for lifelike portraits or landscapes, while others focus on stylized and artistic effects, such as pixel art or neon cyberpunk. And these models also differ in how they handle lighting, textures, and composition, allowing you to achieve diverse and unique outputs. Below that is the aspect ratio, and here you can determine the dimensions of your images, and you have a handful to choose from, like 1:1, which is a square image, 16:9, which is like landscape, 2:3, which is vertical, etc. Each aspect ratio gives you creative control over the size of your final images being created, and simply click on the one that you want to apply to your images, and I'm going to go with 2:3. Next, we have the Enhance Prompt switch, and flipping that on will do what it says and enhance your current text prompt to make it more detailed. Below that are some effects that you can apply to your images, starting with different styles. And these styles act as filters or presets that modify how the AI interprets and renders the text prompt, giving you more control over the final look of your creations. For example, comic and cartoon styles give the image a vibrant, exaggerated look, while sketch and illustration create hand-drawn, detailed line art. Cinematic and dark sci-fi add dramatic lighting and depth, making images look like movie stills, whereas oil painting and watercolors mimic traditional painting techniques. And you can experiment with different styles to match your creative vision, whether for concept art, storytelling, branding, or digital media projects. The next effect is lighting, and this allows you to control the mood, atmosphere, and visual appeal of your AI-generated images by adjusting the type of illumination applied. For example, natural creates a warm sunlight effect with a soft glow, perfect for outdoor or natural-looking scenes. Studio produces crisp, controlled portrait lighting similar to professional photography setups, and so on. These lighting options enhance the overall depth and realism of AI-generated images, allowing for more expressive and dynamic visuals. Then the final effect is the camera. Here you can influence how the AI frames the image, mimicking real-world photography techniques. For example, Portrait produces a professional headshot with the soft focus, ideal for character close-ups. Wide shot captures an expressive scene with context, often used for landscapes or storytelling visuals. And there are obviously more to choose from, but these camera options help you craft visually compelling images, ensuring the generated artwork aligns with your creative vision. Okay, below the effects are some advanced settings, and opening this just gives you the ability to determine how many images are included in each output. Choose between 1 and 4 per generation. And the more images you create, the more tokens it costs. Just FYI. Alright, now that my configurations are set, it's time to enter a text prompt. So in that text field, type what you want to create. And you're probably noticing that my prompt is super detailed. They don't necessarily always need to be this detailed, but I've found that it really depends on your personal preference and desired outcome when it comes to how specific your text prompts are. But either way, once you've entered your prompt, click the Generate button, and the AI gets to work. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I'm subscribed to the professional plan, which gives my images higher priority in the generation queue, which, as you can see, they were done in a matter of seconds. Imagine Art is hands down the fastest AI text-to-image generation tool that I've ever used. That was just amazing, and we got some beautiful results. The 4 images are displayed here, and I didn't do too much in terms of the configuration settings. I used the flux model and changed the aspect ratio to 2:3, but other than that, all the creative design came from the text prompt, and I'm really happy with the results. These images look lifelike and professional. Now, a few things to point out. Towards the top of each image set, you'll see the text prompt used along with a few icons. The first icon there lets you edit the text prompt. The arrow lets you regenerate additional images using the exact same prompt here. And then the 3-dot icon lets you either download all the images or delete them. Then if you hover your mouse over each image, you'll see some additional icons appear. The one in the bottom left corner allows you to download the individual image. Then in the bottom right corner, there are 3 icons. The first one opens the image editor, which we'll do in just a sec, but this is like your own in-house photo editor where you can add effects to your images, enhance them, and much more. It's a lot of fun to play with, and we'll check it out in a few seconds. Next to that is the regenerate icon to regenerate new images using the exact same settings and prompt. And then the edit prompt icon lets you edit the text prompt if needed. Then if you click on one of the individual images here, you'll get this other view where you can get a closer look at it. And on the right of the new interface, you can see the prompt that was used to generate the image, as well as the model and aspect ratio used. Below that are some additional quick actions. Here you can access the photo editor, remove the background, and even animate the image and turn it into a 5-second video. Further down, the enhancements section provides additional tools to refine the image. The upscale feature increases the resolution, making the image sharper and more detailed. The variate option generates slight variations on the existing image, giving users more choices in terms of composition and style. There are also different enhancement intensities labeled subtle, creative, and strong, which adjust the strength of the applied refinements or stylistic changes. Then if you click the arrows on the images, you can cycle through your generations one by one. And this interface streamlines workflow for artists, designers, and marketers by allowing you to fine-tune AI-generated images before downloading or using them in your projects. Next, let's go over how to use the Imagine bot. If you recall, clicking this little robot icon next to the prompt field opens a chat box where you could type a few words describing what you want to create, and the Imagine bot will create a much more detailed prompt. And if you're having trouble coming up with some ideas, they have a few here that you can click on, like enchanting elf with floral crown, and then the bot gets to work drafting a much more detailed prompt. Then when it's done, you could either click the generate button within the chat and that will generate your images based on the new prompt, or you can copy the prompt by clicking that copy icon and then reuse it within the prompt field. This gives you the ability to reconfigure the settings like the model being used and the styles. And that's what I'm going to do, so let me copy this new prompt. And then let's open the model settings. And this time let's use the Flux Dev model, so I'll select that one and then click the Try Now button. Then I'll paste my new prompt in the text field there, and then click the Generate button. And in a few seconds, we'll get a look at the enchanted elf with a floral crown. Looks great. The Flux Dev model seems pretty close to the Flux model from what I can tell, but these images obviously have a lot more color and look really good. And then for the sake of this demo, let me switch things up really quick since I created 2 sets of images with a female subject. And I'm going to go through the configuration steps really quick, but I'm just switching the model back to flux, and then I'll set the aspect ratio to 1:1, and then I'll enter my new prompt and click the generate button. And in a few moments, we get my close-up of a frog eye. Again, I just wanted to show you the range this text-to-image generator has, and we haven't even touched the different styles or camera angles yet. There's a lot that you could do with just different models and detailed text prompts. As you can see here, this frog eye looks something like from National Geographic. I love it. Okay, we'll revisit the text-to-image generator in just a bit, but next I want to show you Imagine Art's image editor. The Imagine Art Editor provides a powerful and intuitive interface for editing AI-generated images with various tools and effects. And one way to access it is to use the editor on images that you've already generated. Simply hover your mouse over the image you want to edit, and in the lower right corner, click that first icon, and that will open the image editor where you can make design changes right here in your Imagine Art account. No need to use an external third-party app or design software. This in-house editor is pretty powerful and allows you to make some amazing changes. For example, on the left, you'll see a toolbar. Here you could add shapes, text, additional images, and even use pre-made templates to expand the design. Towards the upper right corner, you have your undo and redo buttons. You can zoom in and out of the image that you're working on and export it whenever you're done. Then if you click on the image, this opens another editing toolbar where you can perform more edits like cropping, you can add filters, different effects, and more. And let me show you what I mean. So if you select Effects from the toolbar, it opens the Effects menu where, when clicked, you can add different types of effects to the image, giving you the ability to quickly enhance the visual style of your creations. And as you can see, the different effects and filters can really change the overall look and feel of your images, opening the door to a ton of creativity while allowing you to mold your images for different use cases and projects. I'm obviously going through these examples pretty quick, but hopefully you're starting to see that this editor is designed to be user-friendly while offering advanced features for fine-tuning your AI-generated artwork. Then there's also a quick reset button that you could click here, and that reverts all the changes back to your original image. Okay, then let's return to the text-to-image generator, so click that arrow button, and this brings us back to the initial interface with all of our generations. All right, next, I want to quickly show you how to apply different styles to your images. The Imagine Art styles are a great way to diversify your image generations. For example, here I've created this image of a human with a reptilian head dressed in a black t-shirt standing facing the camera. But what if I wanted to use this same prompt but with a different aesthetic and style? Well, that's where the different styles and models come in. So again, I'm keeping the text prompt as is and not changing it, but within the configuration settings on the left, let's open the Styles tab and apply the cartoon style to it. Then for the model, let's change that as well. So open the model library, and then I'm going to go with the illustration model. So I'll select that one and click the Try Now button. Then I'll leave everything else as is and click the Generate button. And in a few moments, check that out. The reptilian dude in the black t-shirt is now a cartoon illustration. Then I didn't change the lighting or camera effects, but I encourage you to experiment with different elements and models to expand your creativity and designs. Okay, next let's go over image guidance and how to use other images to guide the AI when generating your images. Imagine Art's image guidance feature offers 4 distinct modes that allow you to influence how AI generates new images based on an existing one. This feature helps maintain consistency in style, structure, or character likeness across multiple creations. And you have a few ways to go about this, but for this example, I'll use an image from my personal library and we'll apply it to new image generations here in the PhotoGen text-to-image generator. So first, in order to use this feature, you'll want to make sure you're either using the realistic or anime models. From my understanding, those are the only two models that allow the image guidance feature. Next, you'll see the image guidance section has been added to the configuration settings on the left-hand side of the screen. This is where you'll upload the image that you want to use for your reference image. So either drag an image that you want to use and drop it here, or upload one from your computer. I'm going to upload one, so let me do that really quick. And you'll see that for this example, I'm using a plain black and white logo. This is what the AI will use as its reference image when I enter my text prompt. Then below that, you'll have the option to set the mode. And when you click on this, you have 4 options: reimagine, restructure, face portrait, and restyle. For this first example, we'll be using the restructure mode. This will apply the structure of the logo to a realistic image. It's pretty cool. After you select your mode, below that there is a strength slider, and sliding it right increases the strength of guidance that the reference image has on the new images. Finally, enter your text prompt describing what you want to see. And for this example, I'll say an intersection in a metropolitan area with a grand monument in the middle, and there's a marathon going on in the background. Then click the Generate button, and the AI gets to work. Now, since this is using the image guidance feature, it took about 30 seconds to generate, so for the sake of time, let me fast forward really quick. And check that out. Our reference images structure has been applied to the new image generations, and you can definitely see the logo being used within the realistic depiction of the Metropolitan Marathon. But we're not done there. Let me show you another use case for this feature using a different mode. So this time, instead of a logo, I'm going to upload a new image of zebra print. So from the image guidance section, select Choose Image, and find the new image that you want to use. Again, I'm using some zebra print. You can use any type of print style like polka dot, cheetah, bubbles, etc. Next, let's switch the mode. So open the Mode tab, and this time select Restyle. This applies the visual style of an input image to newly generated images while allowing the subject to change. The Restyle mode is useful for creating a cohesive set of images with a unified aesthetic. Then I'm leaving the other settings as is, and this time my text prompt will be a bit more detailed, and it's going to be a stylish handbag made of soft leather, featuring intricate stitching and elegant gold hardware. The bag is displayed on a polished wooden table with a soft pastel background that enhances its sophisticated look. Sunlight casts a gentle glow on the bag, highlighting its texture and the subtle sheen of the leather. Alright, then click the Generate button again. And once again, this took about 30 seconds to generate, so let me fast forward really quick. And wow, that is so cool. The zebra print has been added to my handbag, and the results are really impressive. This restyle feature is great for product and fashion concepts, brand designs, etc. And the possibilities are really endless. And we only tested 2 of the modes, but feel free to experiment with the reimagine and face portrait modes whenever you have some extra time. All right, moving on. The last feature I want to show you is image animation. Imagine Art's animation feature allows you to bring your AI-generated images to life by adding motion effects. And this tool enables the transformation of static images into dynamic visuals, making them more engaging for digital content, social media, and creative projects. And you have a few ways to go about this, but one of the quickest ways is to animate an image that you've already created. But please keep in mind that at the moment, you can only animate images from the text-to-image gallery that are using the aspect ratio 1:1, 9:16, or 16:9. At least that's how it was for me. Okay, so once you find an image that you want to animate, you can click on it here, and in the quick action section, click Animate, and it begins working its magic. Now, in a few moments, you'll get this quick pop-up stating that your video request has been successfully received, but it disappears pretty fast. So in order to see your videos, you'll need to access the Video Craft Studio. This is like the PhotoGen Studio, but for videos and animations. So to get there, click the arrow in the upper left corner to exit this interface. Then click All Studios. And this time go to the Video Craft Studio. Then this is another way to generate videos. You can go text to video, image to video, or their Imagine Shorts. But to see all the videos that you've created, select text to video. And this should take you to your My Creations library, where you'll see all the videos you've created and the ones that are still processing. It usually takes 3 to 5 minutes for the videos to fully process, but when they're done, you'll be able to see them here. And at the moment, all videos are only 5 seconds long, but this is still some amazing technology that allows you to transform static images into dynamic, engaging visuals with ease. The AI seamlessly adds motion effects, bringing artwork to life in a way that enhances storytelling, creativity, and digital content without requiring advanced animation skills. Also, be sure to explore the text-to-video and image-to-video generators. For example, if we head back to the VideoCraft Studio and select image to video, you can either upload an image or generate one right here. You can also use one of their pre-made images below as well. But for this example, I'm going to upload my own. So I'll click the Click to Upload link and find the image I want to use. There we go. Then click the Continue button. Next, you'll need to crop it, and this is where those 3 aspect ratios come into play. You can only use 1:1, 9:16, or 16:9. So I'll crop using the 9:16 aspect ratio. Then once you're ready, click the Crop Image button. And this takes you to the video creating interface, where you'll see my image of the llama at the laptop has been added, as well as a new text prompt, which was auto-generated for me. Pretty cool. Then below that are some configuration settings, starting with the model. Here you could select between different video models to use. By default, it looks like it's using the Kling 1.6 SD, but feel free to experiment with different video models if you want. Next are the effects, and here you can control things like the styles, lighting, and camera motion. And then when you click on one of the effects, it gives you more options in terms of what is offered. Like if we select the camera motions, and you even get a little preview of what each one does when you hover your mouse over it. Pretty cool. I think I'm going to go with the push in camera effect. Next, you have the ability to toggle the prompt enhancer on and off. Keeping this on enhances basic prompts for more detail. Then if you hover your mouse over this little icon next to the generate button, it tells you how many tokens this will cost, which looks like it's 150. Then once all of your settings have been configured, click the generate button and the AI gets to work. Again, taking about 3 to 5 minutes to generate, but for the sake of time, let me fast forward really quick. And voila, my laptop llama gets their extreme close-up. Pretty cool. I love the way this turned out, and it's just another amazing feature within Imagine Art's AI toolset. Finally, let's go over the Imagine Art premium subscriptions, because if you're thinking about upgrading, which I highly recommend doing, you can get started for as little as $15 per month. Imagine Art offers the subscription plans tailored to different levels of AI image generation needs. There are basic, standard, professional, and unlimited. The basic plan at $15 per month provides 1,500 tokens and allows up to 300 image generations and 75 video generations per month, with public image visibility and up to 4 concurrent generations. The standard plan, priced at $30 per month, offers 5,000 tokens, allowing 1,000 image generations and 250 generations per month, with 8 concurrent generations and access to all the styles and models. Those who need a little bit more, there is the professional plan, and this costs $60 per month and includes 15,000 tokens, allowing up to 3,000 image generations and 750 video generations per month, with private image visibility, 12 concurrent generations, priority support, and higher processing priority. Then the unlimited plan at $120 per month provides 40,000 tokens and offers unlimited real-time generations, up to 8,000 image generations and 2,000 video generations per month, private visibility, 16 concurrent generations, and the highest priority in the queue. Additionally, Imagine Art supports monthly, quarterly, and yearly pricing options with discounts available for longer commitments. You can also purchase extra tokens at any time to refill your account if you need more image or video generations.